batch of the Eazy Pod filter modification. So there's the plastic disc which has been laser cut in acrylic, and just the website, my website name where you can get them from. Like I say, it's all laser cut, so finished pretty nicely. It comes with the handles, 2 hangers, and then all the necessary nuts and bolts. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put one of these together inside the house. It needs adjusting when we get over to the Eazy Pod, but for the first few that I send out, this probably won't have any instructions with it for those that are interested in buying one. So I'm just going to put it together now, and then we'll take it out to the Eazy Pod and show it fitted there. Okay, so next thing is putting this together. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of the handles and we're going to thread on a first nut and then a washer. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our first hanger on. So the hangers, you'll see very shortly for when you lift them out of the water, these are going to be laser cut. These aren't very pretty, these ones, I must admit. They've cut them myself, but they are going to be laser cut in the same quality as the rings. So we're going to slide this up, and then we're going to put, so we've had a nut, a washer, and then one of the hangers, another washer, and a nut. So that's the first one, like so. And you want that fairly tight. This will spin round eventually, but you need it on fairly tight. And then there will be 2 holes that are enlarged. So out of all these 4mm holes around the outside, there's one there, and then there's one opposite it that's 6mm. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put another nut on and another washer. Slide it through. And then another nut, another washer, and another nut. And then just to finish it off, it's up to you whether you put these on or not, but you've got these domed cap nuts. You just want to put one of those on there. When this pushes through the K1 media, it pushes through easier basically. Oops, got that on straight. Okay, so that's the setup. I'm just going to zoom away now, and we're going to put the setup the next one as well. Okay, so we're in the filter house now, and the first job I've just done is drain the water. So I've backwashed the filter, just literally to drain the filter, because what I wanted to do is drop the K1 so that I can set up the height of the handles, because it's the handles sliding under here that's going to basically hold it in place. So what I'm going to do is we've dropped it down, and I've removed all the screws from the overflow, and I'm just going to lift that up. Okay, so we've removed the water. Oop, focus. So we've removed the water, and we've let the K1 now sit down. And what we're going to do is we're going to knock the K1 down to the bottom. And one of the things that you should notice is where this stainless steel sheet overlaps, there is a rivet there. Okay, so one of the reasons that you'll find that the disc is a tiny bit smaller in diameter than in theory it could be, although it doesn't matter, it allows water to come around the side as well, which is a good thing, but it's just to get past that rivet. So don't go ramming it down, you do have to tilt it a little bit just to get it in past that rivet. So we've let all the water out, and we're going to go and grab our disc. Okay, so here's our disc. And ideally with 2 handles, we're going to let that sit in, and as I say, you just drop it down so it can sit in below that, and then give it a little push around, and that's one of the reasons for the domed bottoms, just it allows it to push through the K1. And what you want to do now is you want to set this up so that that handle is just below one of these filters. Okay, you only need one handle below and that's fine. As you can see, that's perfectly about perfect where it is. So I'll just get the overflow again and I'll pop that on and just double check that. Oops. So yeah, there's literally about a couple of millimeters gap, so in theory I could bring that up a little bit if I wanted to. In fact, just doing it this one actually is a better fit. So that's perfect, it just slides under there, that handle just slides under there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this out, because they are the right size, so that's lucky that I've got it the right size. So what you'd have to do is adjust these up and down now, raise the handle up and down to make sure that the handle can slide under the overflow like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this out, I'm going to tighten everything up, and then I'm going to screw in the overflow. And the next thing you need to do, which is very difficult with one hand, is lift these up and look at the hangers and put those at a side distance so that you can turn the hangers round, if you see. So you can slide the hangers round and it lifts the ring right up to the top, so it'll allow it to boil. And I must admit, you want those a little bit looser so that they can turn and spin. So you move one over and you can move the other over and it drops back down into it. So it just basically holds it up by hanging over the corner while you're on a boil or boiling the K1. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to fill this back up with water and we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it in action for a little while. And then we're going to boil the K1. If this is the first time you've modified or removed this overflow, some of the newer ones are actually riveted in place, and therefore, or the metal meshes anyway, so therefore it's best now to drill 3 holes all the way around like that, 3 holes in between, and it means that when you put it on, you can use some cable ties to go through the hole and then through one of these grooves just to pull it tight. Otherwise you will end up with K1 coming through this gap, so you must do something like this to stop. And that's whether you're doing this modification or not. If you remove that and remove the rivets from around here on the newer model, this one doesn't have them anyway, the rivets, however you've still got to cable tie them. Okay, and obviously put the disc in first. Okay, so there's the cable ties in place, holding this mesh cage in place. Like I say, it's an absolute necessity, otherwise when you lift this up and you hang it over the sides, you're going to end up getting K1 in between here, and many of you I'm sure have experienced that anyway, so this is a good modification. If you have that happen to you in the past, this is a nice little modification anyway to stop that happening, but it's really important you do that with this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to lift these up and we're going to put the hangers on, and we're going to empty, or let's try and boil the K1. I've pushed the handle underneath and it's basically holding that one handle under that one side is holding the whole thing down, and I mean my pond's actually short of water now, which is why it isn't raising up, but you can see there that I've got, in theory, it should be a good few inches of water above the K1. And you've got a choice there, you can either leave it like that with the recommended amount of K1 in like I've got, or you could put more K1 in, I don't know, but that's experimental, or you could also add a ring of matting on the top of this. The only problem with that is that it does mean that you have to take this off totally to boil the K1. So we're going to top my pond back up and then we're going to boil the K1 using the hanger and just see how it works. Okay, so you can see now that the K1's been pushed right down, almost to a full hand's depth down, so it really is compressing it, because that K1 would normally be bubbling up at, be sat up at the top there. What we're going to do now though is this pipe actually connects over there, so we're going to reconnect my air and we're going to lift the ring up. We're going to hook it over the edge, which you can't do with one hand, and then we're going to watch it boiling. And you can see that the K1 is getting rotated and turned over, so it is fully boiling and releasing all the muck that it's caught. So that's the ring and the modification. If you're interested, please follow the link on my website, and I'm going to put the first batch through for sale as cheap as I can. The price probably will go up a little bit.
Okay, thank you for watching. If you're interested in buying one of these, go over to reynard.co.uk to place your order. And if you've got any suggestions, improvements or modifications, please send me an email or leave a comment below. Thank you for watching.